5:00 a.m. ETplayThe. Packers and Vikings face off in an NFC North showdown, and the Patriots could fall behind the Jets in the AFC East race in Week 6. A look at what's happening around the New York Jets. 1. No chance. The Yapper. Before training camp, Brandon Marshall did a radio interview in which he dumped on his former team, explaining why he requested his release from the Jets. Newsflash: they would have cut him anyway. The volatile Marshall said he couldn't be in that environment. "I think everyone knows the type of personality I am at this point in my career. I wouldn't have made it through an entire season knowing that we didn't have a chance." Now look, Marshall's new team, the New York Giants, are a winless, dysfunctional mess. His old team plays the New England Patriots on Sunday for sole possession of first place in the AFC East. Yes, the NFL is a fickle and humbling league. He's eating his words, nose tackle Steve McClendon told ESPN this week. McClendon said he means no disrespect to Marshall, whom he admires on a personal level. He also wishes him well in his recovery from season-ending ankle surgery. But at the same time, McClendon is a prideful competitor and protective of his team. While Marshall may have simply articulated the perception of the Jets, who appeared to be a lost cause in July, it still didn't sit well among some former teammates. To their credit, the Jets handled the criticism from Marshall and others in a mature fashion. They're entitled to an occasional "I told you so" moment. The way it turned out, Marshall might have unwittingly rallied his old team. Give the Jets credit, they've handled the criticism in a mature fashion, and they've used it to galvanize them. Brandon Marshall left what was perceived as a sinking ship with the Jets to join the '05 Giants. Mitchell left. Getty Images 2. Hitman returns. Jets coach Todd Bowles admitted this week that it ended awkwardly with David Harris, who was unceremoniously released during the latter stage of the off-season program. Harris returns to MetLife Stadium on Sunday with the Patriots, but this isn't the homecoming he envisioned. The Jets' second all-time leading tackler is a bit player for the defending Super Bowl champions. He was a healthy scratch in one game and has played only 7 defensive snaps, and that's too bad because he deserves a better finish to his career. True to his character, Harris has been working behind the scenes with the linebackers, earning praise from coaches and teammates. "I think that says a lot about him, not just as a football player, but as a person as well," Patriots linebacker Donta Hightower said. "You take it as younger guys trying to take food out of his kid's mouth or whatever, but David doesn't see it as that. He's taking it as a Patriot." A pre-game video tribute to Harris would be a classy and appropriate gesture by the Jets. 3. New man in the middle. The Jets were criticized for dumping Harris. Full disclosure: I was one of the critics, but they found a suitable replacement in Demario Davis. This isn't the same Davis who played with the Jets from 2012 to 2015. Not only is he in better shape than in 2015, he credits a diet and 9.5 hours of sleep per night, but Davis is much sharper from a mental standpoint. "Night and day," Bowles said. Davis rededicated himself after suffering through a 115 season with the Cleveland Browns, which he called the hardest thing he'd ever had to go through. Happy to be back. He leads the Jets with 58 tackles. He also has improved as a blitzer. 1.5 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. The only negative, and it can't be swept under the rug, is the Jets are ranked 30th in run defense. All things considered, the Jets are happy with their middle linebacker position. It's funny how things work out. Remember, they visited with Hightower in free agency before trading for Davis in June, unloading draft bust Calvin Pryor. In making the Davis for Harris swap, they got rid of a headache Pryor and saved $4.25 million on the cap after Davis agreed to a pay cut. Chalk one up for general manager Mike Maccagnan. 4. Ready, set, snooze. The Jets aren't a fast starting team. In fact, they've scored only 7 points in the first quarter, averaging only 49.8 total yards. 29th. In an attempt to improve, offensive coordinator John Morton tweaked the practice routine this week. Instead of individual position work after stretching, they conducted a full-speed walkthrough. He called it a team takeoff period, designed to create a sense of urgency. Let's see if it helps. 5. Doing the hustle during the run-up to the game. Patriots coach Bill Belichick made several references to the Jets' overall competitiveness. He mentioned one play in particular, when quarterback Josh McCown recovered his own fumble in the Week 3 win over the Miami Dolphins. Belichick noted that 4 Jets and only 1 Miami player ran after the loose ball, which was recovered by McCown, about 25 yards from where the fumble occurred. "I think that's a good example of their competitiveness as a team," Belichick said. "It's a far cry from last Christmas Eve, when the demoralized Jets showed no fight in a 413 loss at New England. 6. Did you know if the Jets win, they'd have a better record than the Patriots for the first time this late in the season since Week 6 of 2010. Back then, the Jets were 51, the Patriots 41. Statistics Scoreboard 2017 Schedule Results Standing 7. What a win would do. Bulls spent the week downplaying the significance of the game, but the reality is this is a very big game for the upstart Jets. Any victory over the Patriots is huge, but this would change the complexion of the season. It would serve notice to the rest of the league that they must be taken seriously. 8. Return of the tight end. What a difference a new coordinator makes. The Jets are getting production out of not one, but both veteran tight ends. Since Week 3, when he returned from a 2-game suspension, Austin Seferian-Jenkins ranks 4th in the NFL in tight end receptions, 15, behind Zach Ertz 19, Jimmy Graham 17 and Travis Kelce 16. Let's not forget about Eric Tomlinson, whose versatility was on display during last week's 97-yard drive against the Cleveland Browns. He made a third-down catch for 34 yards and, a few plays later, he stoned rookie passer Myles Garrett in pass protection to give McCown time on a key third-down pass. It's amazing what can happen when you give players a chance to perform. 9. JKX2 There were a lot of questions in training camp about the receivers, especially when Quincy Enunwa went down for the season with a neck injury, but Jermaine Kearse and Jeremy Curley have stabilized the position. They've combined for 39 catches on 45 targets, an unheard-of catch percentage of 86.7. Yowza.10. Somber anniversary. 1 year ago, October 15, 2016, the inspirational Dennis Byrd, 50, was killed in a car accident near his home in Oklahoma. Frankly, it's still hard to fathom. Perhaps appropriately, one of his last moments in the spotlight was a Jets-Patriots game, the 2010 divisional playoff in Foxborough. The Jets will need that kind of spirit and singular focus to pull another upset over their number 1 nemesis.